Good afternoon, suckers! As your Republican candidate, I am here to deliver a message. I am here to make you angry. I am here to make you afraid, to lie to you and tell you that nothing is your fault. I am here to tell you that your way of life is under assault from the woke mob. People always ask, what do you mean by woke? I'll tell you what I mean by woke. I mean black people. I mean gay people. I mean trans people. I mean women. Women who don't buy into my shtick. Not you women who are here today. You are definitely not woke. I mean teachers who want to teach your kids anything that makes you uncomfortable. I mean anything you don't like or you don't understand. I mean anything I think will make you upset that I can blame on the Democrats. I am here to stand up against cancel culture because I don't think anyone on our side should ever be held accountable for anything we've said or done. I am here to stand up for law and order, by which I mean we should make the laws and we should impose the order. And when I say we, I mean people like me, not people like you. I want you to vote for me, but none of you actually get a say in any of this. And whether or not any of the policies I want to enact would be to your benefit isn't something I really care about. Part of law and order is policing. And I want to tell you that I support the police 100%. Until they start investigating Republicans. Law enforcement departments that investigate Republicans need to be defunded and radically reformed, rebuilt from the ground up if necessary. It's the only way to repair that institutional rot, by which, again, I mean they're conducting investigations of Republicans. I'm here to say that we should cut taxes, not on you. Well, maybe on some of you, a little, but mostly on people like me, rich people. But I don't just want to cut taxes, I want to slash regulations. Not to make your lives any better, but to make it easier for people like me to do business however we want. That's why it's so important to me and my fellow Republicans to get rid of things like workplace safety requirements and environmental regulations and child labor laws and the minimum wage, so we can finally focus on the only thing that really matters to any of us, which is making as much money off of your labor as we possibly can. I'm here to say that health care should be treated like any other commodity. And if you can't afford to pay for it, you can just die. I really don't care. I don't believe health care is a human right. I don't believe abortion is a human right, but not because I care about babies. I just don't believe women deserve human rights anyway. And that actually includes trans women, which is the only form of trans equality I support. I'm here to tell you that I know climate change is real and caused by human activities, but I don't care. And it doesn't make any difference because as long as I'm in office, I will fight hard every day to ensure we do absolutely nothing about it. Why? Because responding to climate change costs money. And I'd rather keep the money myself because if I'm rich enough, climate change won't affect me like it will you. I'm here to tell you that I support our military. I will always fight for a bigger budget for our armed forces, and I will always fight to distribute as much of that budget as I can to private defense contractors, and as little of that budget as possible into anything that could possibly benefit the actual troops. I don't care about the troops, or their pay, or their equipment, or their physical and mental well-being. I'm glad they're there. because they provide me with the easiest, most surefire applause line there is. God bless the brave men and women who defend our country. See what I'm talking about? I can get you dipshit marks to go along with anything I say as long as I can tie it in with the troops somehow. God bless the troops. I'm here to talk about the importance of faith and family, even though those things mean nothing whatsoever to me personally. When I refer to religion, I do so because I know it's another soft spot for you superstitious saps, as if I know or care what Jesus would do. When I talk about family values, I do it to give you something else to be afraid of, to make you think that if you don't elect me, the Democrats are going to force you to stop beating your kids. If I really cared about family values, I'd tell you to be more skeptical of your religious leaders. Statistically speaking, your kids are in way more danger from straight white church pastors than they are from teachers or drag queens. But I don't really care about you or your kids. I am here to tell you that racial inequality is no longer a problem in this country, not because it no longer exists, but because it's not a problem for me. And, judging by the complexion of this crowd, it's not a problem for you either. Not that I actually care about that. I am here to say that racists, white supremacists, neo-Nazis, and all such extremists have no place in the Republican Party, even though that's not true. They're all welcome in the Republican Party as long as they know not to say the N-word when they're being recorded. And I promise you, I will denounce and disavow any of the white nationalist organizations to which I have ties only when I feel that doing so is a political necessity. You have my word on that, even though my word is worth absolutely nothing. Most importantly of all, I am here to tell you that I and my fellow Republican politicians will fight to reform our electoral system in this country so that our side never, ever loses. If you only remember one thing I've said here today, remember this: election results should only count when we win. If we lose, we should cheat like hell to overturn that result, intimidate election officials, stop the count, get votes for opposing candidates thrown out. Everything we accuse the Democrats of doing, we have done and will continue to do, because we don't care about democracy, we don't care about the Constitution, we don't care about the rule of law, and we don't care about right and wrong. All we care about is taking and keeping power. That's why I'm here. I'd rather be anywhere else in the world than here talking to you. I despise you. If I were capable of empathy, I'd probably pity you. I don't want to make your lives any better, but if it will convince you to vote for me, I will promise to hurt who you want me to hurt. I will give you scapegoats to blame all your problems on, and I will do a half-assed job pretending that I'm just like you, because that's all it takes to impress you clueless rubes. Look at me. I'm here with my tie loosened, my sleeves rolled up, so that I appear to be approachable and working class, even though I have nothing but contempt for the working class, and view them purely as an exploitable and very expendable resource. So, vote for me. I share all your prejudices. I'm a deeply intolerant, small-minded, reactionary person, just like most of you. I do genuinely hate the same people you hate, but I share none of your actual fears or grievances because my money and social status insulate me from all of that. Those are your problems, and I'm glad you have them. And I want you to go on having them, and I want to keep making them worse because they make you really, really easy to manipulate. I don't care about you or your community or this country or anything outside of my own sociopathically self-centered interests, but as long as you keep being afraid of the things I tell you to be afraid of, getting mad at the people I tell you to get mad at, blaming the people I tell you to blame, and elevating me and people like me to positions of power so we can continue to force you to work harder and harder for less and less, we'll get along fine. You're an ignorant mob. You exist only to lift up men like me. And if I didn't need you for that, I'd happily drive each and every one of you over a cliff, which I'm sure wouldn't be too difficult. Fuck you and fuck America.